What's up everybody, Jordan here, back with another video for the Stoltz Farm YouTube channel. Some updates today, kind of getting over a summer cold that spread around our family pretty quick this last week. On the tail end of it now, feeling pretty good. On the positive note, harvest is done, or at least everything except for soybeans. We finished up the canola, the barley, and we finished the wheat on Sunday. Things are pretty much complete as far as combining is concerned until maybe the end of the month here in September or even October. I washed this combine yesterday. That's what I did for work. The 9760 is all clean and shiny green, and we'll go see the 9770 here in the yard, which is quite dirty still. You can see the butt over there, pretty dirty. That one needs a good washing too. But today we're gonna do something a little bit different to start the video. This video may go over a few days as we kind of just chip away at some little odds and end type work that needs to be done in between crops now that we have a gap. Today we're going to go out and harrow a little bit actually. We have rain in the forecast, and things are probably gonna get pretty wet and muddy here in the next couple weeks. And definitely get colder too. So right now we're going to do a little bit of field work, disc some spots that were weedy, need to be chopped up, and then also the harrow for some of the stubble areas like the barley stubble, canola stubble, that kind of thing. We're going to run the harrow over that. So I'll be doing that today, running the harrow, getting some of that knocked down, stirring up the dirt a little bit, getting it ready for the winter. That whole process of harrowing instead of actually cultivating seemed to work pretty well for the last couple years for our crops. Kind of a go-to method now, and it's definitely a lot faster than running the cultivator. You can drive faster, it's way wider, and pretty efficient. So we're liking the results with that. We're gonna run that today. Really quick, something to note as I walk over here in the yard is the soybeans actually are turning pretty fast. So it is September 11 today, and we're thinking even some of these might go by the end of the month instead of in October. We were initially planning mostly in October, but it seems like every day these soybeans get more yellow. Now we have had a little spurt of 80 to 90 degrees here in the last week, and I believe this weekend is kind of looks like almost the last super warm weekend where it's going to be like 80 degrees, and after that, you know, we're going to be dropping down to the 70s for most of the days, even the 60s sometimes if it's rainy and cloudy. So they will get a lot less sun and maybe dry a little slower, but things are turning fast, and you know, we'll probably be in there before you know it. We're going into the harrow, roll the intro, and let's get started. All right, everybody, it is quite a bit later than the beginning clips of this video. Started out this video kind of doing some harrowing. We got a little bit of rain and ended up kind of working on a home project in the last probably about 7 to 10 days where I haven't filmed anything from the beginning of this video. I was roofing this shed over here and just kind of focused on that and getting that done. We also did do the combine concaves yesterday. That is to switch the concaves in the combine. There's 3 per combine, over from the small grains like canola, wheat, barley, over to soybeans and sunflowers if we were doing them, but we don't have sunflowers this year. So we had to change all those concaves yesterday. We did both combines in about 2.5 hours. So not too bad of a day there to finish things up. And we had to prep the combines for soybeans because things are almost ready, and that's kind of where I wanted to continue this video, which was just really moving some ground for you know, fall and even next spring, getting things worked in. That's actually what we're gonna do today. But before going out to the tractor again for the second half of this video, I wanted to show you guys the soybeans and some of the progress we have here. We'll get up close. So this field is over by the yard. This is probably one of the most ready fields that we have. And you can see, I mean, this is pretty ready already. Some of this stuff in here through this edge, you can see this kind of go down and curve around that wet spot. That's pretty green. I see some green in the middle as well, and then a random plant here or there that looks a little yellow and green. But this here is pretty much ready. The pods here are already kind of just like cracking open fairly easy, and things are pretty dry. This field turned pretty fast, pretty quick turn on this field, and partially that's due to our hot weather we've been having. Today's like 70, 75, but we've had many days that have been in the 80s still. 80 degrees, even I think in a couple days it's gonna be 85. And this weekend it's still gonna be 80, 85, and it's in the, I don't actually know the date, I think it's like September 25 or 26 today. So we're getting pretty deep into fall, and still things are pretty warm here, which is maybe ordinary where you're from, not as ordinary in North Dakota. Things get pretty cold by the end of September. Anyways, we're headed out to the field right now. I'm gonna do some, I think, chisel plowing today. We've had the disc going a little bit. Harrow is going on some of the canola stubble that we've had. Just kind of breaking up some ground and killing some weeds, really. With the disc, especially getting some weedy spots and some spots that need to maybe hit a couple times before we can plant them next year. And the cultivator is kind of a similar method, is to dig up the dirt, kill the weeds, you know, dig the stubble in. We're gonna have to probably go over it again in the spring with the harrow at least, if not the cultivator again, before we seed it. And doing one of those little sessions here in the fall definitely saves us some time down the road in the spring. So we're gonna be doing that today. Kind of waiting on those soybeans to be truly ready, but by the look of that field I just showed you, that will be in a couple days, I think. And we'll be out combining soybeans probably in the next video that's up on the channel. We do have some other fields around that are not quite as ready, so that's not necessarily an exact visual of what all of our fields look like right now. Some of them are a little more green than that because of the various times we planted soybeans. Soybean fields won't be all ready at the same time. They will be spread out through the next couple weeks. But I think in the next 2 or 3 weeks, especially with the warm weather we're having, we'll get those harvested. And that would actually be the end of harvest because we don't have sunflowers. I'll keep you guys up to date on that, and be sure to stay tuned to the channel so you don't miss anything there. Subscribe if you're not already. Harvest will continue probably in the next video. Today we're cultivating a little bit, and I think we're using the 8770 for that today, so stay tuned for that. Folks, we're gonna wrap up here in the field here in about 10 minutes or so. About 7 p.m. right now, and that'll kind of do it for today. I'm not gonna finish this field anyways today. This is a big one. I did finish one little one over here, working on another one. Like I said before, we're just kind of digging these things up a little bit, digging pretty deep, really turning it over, getting the stubble worked in, hopefully killing some weeds and prepping up for next spring already too. Getting ahead in the fall is the way to do it while we kind of wait for soybean harvest to start, and while we have some nice hot dry days. We're not guaranteed that in a week or in the spring or anytime really. Taking advantage of the dry ground by getting in the field today. Thank you for watching this video. Spread out over a super long time, enough for me to go stubble to longer facial hair to attempt at a mustache. I mean, This video spanned across a long time. Right now we're just kind of waiting, doing some other projects. Soybean harvest is right around the corner. Likely next video, we will be in the field, or at least attempting for soybean harvest. Thank you for all the support.